Hey guys, sorry about my hair. I've literally been rained on all day today. It is December the 13th and we had our 12-week scan today. As I'm sure you can tell, it was good news. So, what were some of the things? Oh, okay, most exciting. Baby was literally like bouncing. It was just, you know, doing little hops and sinking back down. Whoop. I'll put a, she did send me a video of one of the little hops, so I'll pop that up on the screen so you can see. It was so cute. And then I would laugh every time and the ultrasound would go all funny because it doesn't work if you laugh. But it was so cute. What else? So Jonathan saw on the screen that it was measuring 7 centimeters.
Well, I don't know. I'm obviously not an expert, but when she was doing the measurement, I think it was drawing like 70 mil.
Which apparently, he looked it up, is where it's meant to be.
I didn't look it up. It said it on the screen.
Oh, it said it on the screen that that's meant to line up with 13 weeks. So we either have a big baby or, I don't know, maybe my last scan was a little bit off. I have to go back for another scan in a few days because she couldn't get one of the measurements because the baby just wouldn't stay in the right position. Well, I had to like jiggle around and like go to the bathroom and drink more water and try all these things to like make the baby do the right thing, but it just didn't want to. So, so yeah, I have to go back in a few days. But there was only like one measurement that she missed. Everything else was fine. What was the heart rate? Was it 176?
162?
Was it?
Yeah,
162.
162.
And she said that was good too. Yeah, it was just so nice to see it jumping and bouncing. So cute. And shall I pop in a picture of the 3D scan as well?
Oh, the creepy 3D scan.
Yeah, it doesn't look very...
What you are currently looking at is the creepy 3D scan.
It was exciting to get a 3D scan as well though. But yeah, looks a bit funny. But honestly, I was just so relieved. The second that we saw the baby, I was like, oh, thank God.
You thought it was going to be empty.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be empty, but I thought it was going to be, well, not that I thought it was going to be something wrong, but I was worried that she was just immediately going to tell me that it was too small, that it had stopped growing a few weeks ago or something. Because you hear so many horror stories of miscarriages. So yeah, I was very worried about that. Oh my God, my hair is awful today.
Yeah.
Just don't even look at me. Hi, Evie.
But that will do it for this year's update.
This year's update. Yeah.
Well, the next scan is at 20 weeks, and we'll be well into 2022 by then.
I guess I'll update you on or after my next one in a few days as well. Because yeah, she has got one more measurement to do, but I'm sure it will be fine. She said it looked fine. She just had to get like the proper measurement for it, and she couldn't.
Can someone buy me Scotch-Brite lint rolls for Christmas? Is that alright? Let me know in the comments, and I'll give you my address. So
I know I updated you the other day, just after my scan, but I was obviously like really excited and just very focused on the fact that the baby was okay, which is obviously the main thing. But I thought I actually missed some things out that you probably, or that are important. So I thought I'd jump back on and just like go over that again. I've had another look at the pictures that she sent me, and in the corner of one of them it says the gestational age is measuring at 13 weeks and 3 days, which Jonathan says there were a couple of different numbers for that were on the screen depending on the angle that they were looking at. But that is still like measuring a week and a half ahead of where I was on the day, which I think is positive as well, like better a bigger baby than a baby that's too small or not growing properly. I think I already said they got all the measurements except for one, so I have to go back. I'm going back tomorrow, which will be 4 days later. But yeah, it was definitely all very positive. Oh, and the other thing that I forgot to mention was because we are no longer in like level 3 or 4 lockdown, we've moved to the traffic light system. So Jonathan was actually able to come to that appointment with me. So he didn't get to come to the first ultrasound because we were still in level 3 at the time. Level 4? No, I think it was level 3, yeah. But yeah, he got to come and like actually into the room with me and everything. So that was really, really nice. He's not gonna come tomorrow because it's the same scan. It's just like one little measurement that we need. But yeah, I was so happy to have him there for the last one, and he was really happy to be able to come as well. Alright, so I went back and had the last bit of the scan today. Not too much to update you on. It wasn't super different from last time. It took a long time to get that final measurement. The baby was not cooperating. I had to like drink extra water and empty my bladder and like refill my bladder and half empty it and touch my toes, jiggle around, go for a walk. I even had to be on all fours for a little bit, just trying to like convince it to go into a more convenient position, which it didn't want to. But eventually we did manage to get the measurement, and she said the measurement looks good, so that's all positive. Baby was doing, I think baby was asleep when I got there, but after all the annoying things that I had to do to get it to move, I think it woke up because it started doing its little hops again. So that was very cute. I love seeing that. The only gestational age that I saw pop up on the screen today, because I know it changes with the different angles and stuff, the only one I saw, oh no, I saw 2. I saw a 12 weeks 4 days and I saw a 12 weeks 6 days. But she said it literally just depends on the angle and the position that the baby's in. So the fact that it's measuring smaller than last time I was there doesn't matter, really. Got all the measurements, everything looks good. So yeah, I'll catch you again in a couple days with my like proper weekly update. It's the 19th of December and I am 13 weeks pregnant today. The baby is the size of a lemon. Well, one of my apps says it's the size of a lemon, one of the apps says a peach, but I find a lemon easier to picture. My symptoms over the last week, one of the main things that I've had is like low blood pressure, feeling a bit dizzy and a bit faint when I stand up. I talked about that. It started like just before my last update, so I talked about it a little bit at the end of my last update. But that has kind of continued through the week. Some days it's worse, some days it's not so bad. But yeah, definitely still got that one. I did have my ultrasounds, which obviously I've talked to you about already, so I won't go into that now. Food, I'm eating dinner food again. You might remember from a couple of updates ago, the last like month and a half, I think, I've not really been able to eat dinner foods. I've just been having a lot of aversions towards anything that I would normally eat for dinner. I can eat proper meals again for dinner. I can't eat everything. There's still some foods that I just don't think I can stomach at all, but there's enough foods that I can eat now that I've been able to just carefully choose like what I'm going to cook for dinners. And so yeah, I'm actually getting some veggies and some healthy food in, which is really good now. My bras that I ordered in the Black Friday sales, that are just, they're not maternity bras, but just like normal bras in a couple sizes bigger, those arrived this week, and I thought that they were not going to fit yet because some of my like normal size bras still fit. But I tried them on just to see, and actually 3 out of the 4 fit me really well already. One of them is just a little bit loose on me still. But yeah, 3 of them I can wear straight away, which is really exciting. They're so comfortable. Here's me saying my boobs haven't changed size yet, my old bras still fit, and then I put on these ones that are like 2 sizes bigger, and I'm like, oh, this is what it's meant to feel like. I've been having some cramps again, which I think is just my uterus growing. So like I had them right at the start around like 4 and 5 weeks, and then they stopped, and I've got them again now. Again, not every day. I think I've had them 2 or 3 days out of the last week, but when I do have them, they're quite painful actually. I would not as painful as period cramps, but like close. Like certainly more painful than the ones that I had at weeks 4 and 5. And the days that I had them, they lasted like most of the day as well. I've also started getting some spots on my chest, like pimple kind of spots. which I imagine is just hormonal breakouts. Like I had them on my face at the very start of the pregnancy. I think there's some up here under my skin actually, but because I'm like using cleansers and all that kind of stuff on my face, they've not actually broken through. But I don't really use anything on my chest, so those ones are really like red and quite obvious. So I've just like from this morning I've just started using all my face stuff that I normally do. I'm just doing the same thing on my chest, so hopefully that will clear it up. Otherwise, like, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I have been getting some spots. And the other thing, I haven't really talked about this yet, but in terms of weight change, I know your weight's not really supposed to change in the first trimester particularly, but I have actually lost a kilo. You guys know I haven't thrown up at all through the pregnancy. Obviously I did have a lot of aversions, so initially I thought that was probably what was like making me lose a bit of weight, was the fact that I just had so few foods that I actually was able to eat, and I was really not that hungry as well for quite a while. But then I was surprised that I haven't put the weight back on over the last week or two, because my appetite has been like back to normal, and obviously there's Christmas food all over the place, so I'm eating a whole bunch of stuff that probably is not the healthiest in pregnancy. Yeah, like lots of cookies, lots of chocolate, lots of like Christmas drinks. So yeah, I was a little surprised that I haven't put the weight back on, but I think it's because I've not really been able to exercise much. So I think it's all muscle that I've lost. Actually, now that I'm on school holidays, I'm going to try and get back into a bit more exercise. So obviously when I'm at work, I'm like on my feet most of the day anyway, because I'm a teacher. But now that I'm on school holidays, I'm really not up and doing a lot other than cleaning, which obviously is quite good exercise in itself. But yes, I need to get back into just a little bit, as much as I feel up to. Not gonna like push myself too hard or anything. But yeah, that is what happened over week 12, and now I'm at 13 weeks. And Christmas is in 6 days. We are going to announce to family at Christmas. So by the time I see you at 14 weeks, we will have told family, which I'm so excited about. Actually, let me show you the cards that I made. So, because our first pregnancy was, well, like we found out about it just before Mother's Day, we were initially going to announce on Mother's Day to family. So we got this card for Jonathan's mum, which is what we were planning on giving her. But obviously now that it's Christmas, like we're not just announcing to his mum, we're going to announce to everyone at the same time. So we're still going to use this one for his mum, and we've put these little feet on the inside. We are obviously going to write in it and everything, but yeah, that's the little symbol there. And then I've just, because I didn't have a card for anyone else, so I just made these cards. I've just put the Christmas tree on the outside and then the same little feet on the inside, but obviously we're going to write in them as well. And we're probably going to write something cute like, well, for the grandparents, we were like Jonathan's mum and dad, we were thinking of writing like 2022 is going to be a grand year or something like that. And then that combined with the feet will be the giveaway of what's coming. So I'm very excited. We're still not like announcing publicly, and I don't think we'll tell friends. I might tell friends at New Year's if we like hang out all together on New Year's Eve or something. But at this stage, the only people we're going to tell at Christmas is family. I'll see you in a week and let you know what's happened. It's Boxing Day, it's the 26th of December, and I am officially in my second trimester from today. So I'm 14 weeks today, which is the start of trimester 2, which is when you're supposed to start feeling pretty good, or at least it's meant to be like the best trimester of the 3. Not that the first trimester was super bad for me, but would be nice, I guess, to have a little bit more energy. But anyway, we're not talking about trimester 2 today, we're talking about week 13. So in week 13, I got a bit of energy back. So I had the energy to do a couple of workouts, which was really nice, and also to go for a few walks over the week. I've always wanted to be like active and working out during my pregnancy, to keep myself healthy, to keep the baby healthy, and to make like the birth and the recovery as smooth and easy as possible. So I am planning on like working out as much as I feel up to during the pregnancy. So it was nice to be able to like start getting back into that this last week. But even though I've had more energy, when I use my energy, I'm still getting like super exhausted. So one day we were out with Jonathan's Gramps for lunch and we ordered the food and they said it would be 10 minutes. So we literally went for a 10-minute walk. That was it. That was the only exercise I did that day. When we got home from the lunch, I slept for 3 hours. So like the amount of rest that I need in comparison to the amount of energy I spend is just ridiculous. So even though I have more energy, I also need a lot more rest to like counteract it. And even still, like, it's still the same, like walking upstairs or like getting up to do something is fine, I can do it, but like I then need to sit down again and catch my breath and rest again. So I'm just taking it easy, doing like little things, but not being like super hard on myself that I've got to be active and doing hour-long workouts or anything. So it was Christmas Day yesterday, obviously, and Jonathan and I announced to family at Christmas. All the family was so excited for us. Yeah, they were really, really happy, so that was nice. And we're not going to do anything in particular for friends. I was thinking maybe at New Year's, because usually we hang out together at New Year's, but we've got a couple of friends that are like off on hikes during New Year's, and you know, also with like COVID going around, I think we're not going to do anything for New Year's this year. So we're just going to tell friends as we see them. Jonathan got me a pregnancy pillow for Christmas, which I think I talked about this before, but I had picked the one that I wanted, so he wasn't like just getting me a random one. So I had sent him a picture of the one that I wanted and like shown him the website that it was from. So yeah, he got me the one that I chose. So I got that. I've had it for 2 nights now because he gave me that on Christmas Eve. It's so nice to sleep with. It's huge. It's one of those like massive full body like U-shaped ones. I really wanted that one because it's the same on both sides. A lot of pregnancy pillows are like only for one side, and then if you want to keep it on that side but you're rolling over, you've got to like take it with you. It just seems like such a hassle. So I wanted one that was like symmetrical basically, so that I can roll over and it's still the same on the other side. But yeah, I'll put a picture in here of me using it so you can see like a reference of how big it actually is. But it still only takes up half the bed. Like, it's not in Jonathan's way. It does make cuddling a little bit harder, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? The only other thing is something that I've had, I think, the whole time, but I've only just realized what it's actually called. So a few weeks ago, I talked about if I move suddenly, I would have like a little sharp pain, kind of like, I guess, where my uterus is. I didn't know what it was called. So that is actually round ligament pain, which I've heard a lot about, but it was only like this morning that I actually read an explanation of what it is and what it feels like and what causes it. So sudden movements do cause it. I've learned not to do the sudden movements now, which is why I haven't talked about it the last few weeks, because I haven't really had it that much, but I still get it when I sneeze, when I cough, those kinds of things. And actually, if I gag, which I'm still gagging occasionally, that causes it, because obviously that's a sudden movement, but not one that I can control. So those are still happening. That's generally when I get it. And it's not super bad. It's just like little pain, like a, don't do that, please. Not that I can help it if it's a sneeze or something. But yeah, it's quick pain and then it's gone. I've been having that for weeks. I just didn't know what it was called. But yeah, that is round ligament pain. Anyway, that was my week. Baby today is the size of, well, I've got 2 apps. One of them says nectarine and the other one says navel orange. So, oh, and one of them also said like basically the size of your clenched fist. So this is the size of my little baby. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week. It's the 2nd of January and I am 15 weeks pregnant today, so baby is about the size of an apple or a pear. First of all, I have to say, so I'm at 15 weeks now, so I'm kind of halfway-ish between the 12-week scan and the 20-week scan. And I have to say, this middle period between scans, I find really hard. Like, every time I have a scan, I am so relieved that everything is okay. And that lasts for a while. It lasted for like a couple of weeks this time. But now it's been like weeks since I had that confirmation that baby's okay. And I'm still in this period where I haven't felt anything. My belly's kind of growing, but I don't know if it's all just Christmas food. So there's nothing to like show me that baby is okay, and I'm finding it really hard just to believe and trust that everything is fine. But anyway, nothing seems wrong. I'm just saying that's how I'm feeling. But anyway, my symptoms from 14 weeks. I had a bit of round ligament pain, not as often as I had it like last week, but when I did get it, it was more painful and it lasted longer. So there was one time where I sneezed. I was home alone, I sneezed, and it was so painful. And it lasted for like almost a full minute of me just sitting there being like, ow, please stop, please stop. And normally it's very like sharp and quick and then gone after like a couple of seconds. So anyway, that was a bit different, but it's fine. I have had more energy actually. I've not needed to nap, not that I napped much. I think I only napped once, that big 3-hour nap that I had a few weeks ago. But yeah, I've not needed to nap. I've been working out most days, or you know, going for a walk or something. Yeah, I still get out of breath quite quickly, like even just from talking, but I do actually have the energy. Hello. I have the energy to get up and do things. So yesterday I realized that my moisturizer has retinol in it, and I'm just so annoyed at myself because I should have checked all my skincare. Like, I really should have. I knew that when you're pregnant, a lot of skincare options you're not supposed to use, but I didn't check any of my skincare. Hi, bub. Evie's right here. Hello. Hi. Mwah. I didn't check my skincare because the things that I had read said that it was mostly acne products that have the ingredients that you're not supposed to use, and I don't really use acne products, so I don't really have acne. So then I just didn't check. And then yesterday I read something that said also anti-aging products can have the ingredients in them, and I was like, oh no, my moisturizer is an anti-aging moisturizer. So I checked it, and sure enough it has retinol in it, which I'm not supposed to use. So I've stopped using it, but then I felt really like shitty about the fact that I've been using it for 14 whole weeks. And then this morning I was like, oh, I better just check all my other products as well. And like everything has citric acid in it, which I think is probably okay because it's so far down the list, there's so little of it in the products. I'm still gonna stop using them, but I'm just like, I'm half annoyed at myself for not bothering to check my skincare earlier, and then half like, why was this never on a list that like the doctor gave me or the midwife gave me? Like, there was nothing on there that was like, check your skincare, look for these products or these ingredients. I have just texted my midwife this morning and I was like, oh my god, my moisturizer has retinol in it. And she's just responded and said, it will be okay, just use something else from now on. I think I'm seeing her in a few days, so I'll ask her about the citric acid as well, which I think is probably fine, but now that I know that it's in those products, I'm just gonna stop using them anyway. I don't care if I just have to literally not use skincare for the next 6 months, like that's fine, I can do that. Better safe than sorry, right? The other thing from the last week is that we told our friends. So we kind of did a New Year's announcement, I guess. Like, we didn't see our friends for New Year's. It was just a funny year, you know. I think most of us pretty much stayed home and did nothing. But we did send like a little New Year's message in the group chat and just let everyone know. We have a couple of friends that don't know yet. They're like friends from other areas of our lives, but we might just wait until we see them. I wasn't sure, like, you never know who is trying for a baby or like who is struggling with different things. So I hope that none of our friends are in that situation, and I did consider that, like when we were thinking about how we were going to tell our friends. Yeah, I did consider the possibility that there might be someone in there that is trying or struggling to conceive, or, you know, anything to do with that. But at the same time, it's like we do have to tell them before we post on social media, because otherwise it's rude. We don't want our friends to find out when we post to the whole world, so we did need to tell them. Obviously, if we knew that someone was in that situation, we probably would have pulled them aside and told them separately, but when you're not aware, I think you just have to say things. But also, a lot of our friends are aware that we had a couple of losses this year, or that we had at least one loss. Most of our friends, some of our friends know that. And I think for the ones that know that, they're going to be happy for us regardless, because they know that we've had struggles in trying to get to here. So yeah, I think everyone is happy for us. But yeah, that was week 14. It's the 6th of January and I am 15 weeks and 4 days. I know it's not like a new week to update you on, but I've just come back from my midwife appointment, so I thought I'd just quickly tell you a couple of things that happened there. Jonathan was able to come, which was nice. We listened to baby's heartbeat, which was so exciting. You could probably tell in my last update I was feeling pretty anxious, so it was really nice to hear the heartbeat and have that confirmation again. So she literally found the heartbeat within 2 seconds of putting it on, and I had read so many people saying that it takes like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Like it can be really hard to find the heartbeat, and she literally found it straight away. And I was like, already? Like, wow. Anyway, so the heartbeat was 152, which she said was perfect. She said my uterus is the exact correct size, which I don't know how she worked that out so fast as well. Man, she must be so good at her job, because she literally just like touched my stomach for a second and was like, oh yep, that's your uterus. So that, in theory, I guess tells us that baby is growing the correct amount. So such a relief. I did also ask the midwife about products with citric acid in them. I think I talked about this in my last update with you guys. And she said absolutely fine. So, which we thought based on what we read on the internet, but I just wanted to check before I kept using them. So yeah, absolutely fine, which is good because literally everything that I have has citric acid in it. So all good, can keep using them all. I think that's it for today, but I'll be back in a couple of days for the final like weekly update for this video. It's the 9th of January and I am 16 weeks pregnant today. Baby is the size of an avocado. Obviously I already talked about my midwife appointment, which went really well with a good heartbeat. As for my symptoms in week 15, the main one I guess was headaches. So almost every day in the last week I've had a headache, like most of the day, and I think that's probably made worse by the fact that it is summer and it is like one of the hottest summers on record in New Zealand. The last couple days have been a little cooler actually, and I haven't had headaches, so I think it definitely is a combination of the heat with pregnancy, because I know headaches are really common around this time in pregnancy, so it'll be a combination of the two. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. And the other thing is that my bump is starting, which I am so excited about. It's kind of at a point where, so pre-pregnancy, my tummy would be like basically flat in the mornings and then not so flat, you know, by the end of the day. So I'm at the point now where in the morning, my like before I eat, my tummy kind of looks like it used to look at the end of the day, so after a day's full of eating. But by the end of the day now, or even like by like after lunch, by the time I've had a couple of meals, I'm definitely starting to look pregnant, which I'm so excited about. I'll show you what my belly looks like now. However, it is morning, so what I'll do is I'll also insert a picture of what my belly looks like in the morning and then what it looks like at the end of the day, so you can kind of see how much it actually changes within one day. Alright, so I have had breakfast today, so I have had a bit of food, but obviously like this is still quite early in the morning, so I haven't, you know, this is not as big as it gets. But yeah, definitely starting to get a bit of a bump. But yeah, I took a picture this morning of what my tummy looked like before I ate anything, and I'll take another one at the end of today, so I'll pop those in now so you can see. And yeah, that is the end of this video update. So that was 12 or 13 weeks up to 16 weeks, wasn't it? So I'll end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!